Tucked away in Kennebunkport, 32 Binnacle Lane is just waiting to be developed.
So they contacted me and said, hey, are you a local real estate agent? I have a piece of property in Kennebunkport that I'm looking to sell.
But realtor Jacqueline Giordano comes with questions.
When was the first red flag?
Right off the bat.
The person claiming to own the property, Mark Labello, said he was far away.
It confirmed when I asked him if he could walk the property with me. He said, oh, I can't do that. I'm actually in a hospital in Texas. I need to sell the land quickly in order to pay my medical bills.
Giordano says that's when she knew this was an online scammer using a fake ID to pose as a Maine landowner in order to sell the property. She then took to Google to try to warn the real Mark Labello.
So I was at work and my cell phone rang. I picked it up and she said, is this Mark Labello? I said, yes. And she said, I wanted to let you know that I've been texting with someone who I think is claiming to be you. So I said, thank you. And I didn't really think much of it at that point.
2 days later, Labello decided to pay a visit to his property here in Maine.
So as I said, I was driving up the road and literally right where that post is, right next to it was the for sale sign.
Did your jaw drop?
Oh my God, yeah.
It turns out the sign had gone up that morning by a different real estate agent.
So I got out of the car, literally standing right where we are, and I called the number on it. And I said, Mr. So-and-so, did you list 32 Binnacle Lane in Kennebunkport? And he said, yes, I just did it this morning. But you could tell in his voice, I think he was excited, like, oh my God, I'm gonna sell this on the first day I listed it. I said, well, that's my land, and it's not for sale.
The agent had trusted this fake driver's license provided by the scammer.
Someone else took the bait.
Yeah.
Now I watch my land all the time.
While Mark Labello was lucky to catch the listing before a sale, others haven't been. Next, we meet one man who did lose his property, and we'll tell you how this fraud works, why it's allowed to happen, and what lawmakers are trying to do about it.
I paid the taxes for like 20 years.
Richard Lowe inherited this 2-acre property on Cole Road in Biddeford 2 decades ago. But last year, something changed.
Why did you go down to the clerk's office?
Well, I didn't get a tax bill. So I called the town hall and the assessor's department, and they said, well, the reason you didn't get a bill is because you don't own the land anymore.
Lowe was told his property had been sold to a developer in Biddeford months prior.
That just floored me. I couldn't imagine what was going on.
His search for answers led him to Red Door Title, a closing company he had previously used for a different property.
We looked up where the deed was, connected who had done the closing. It was not us, but we were able to confirm with that closing company, with Richard, that somebody had impersonated him.
Attorney Jackie Fitzgerald Boyd pulled up this fake Maine driver's license given to her by the title company. It turns out the closing was done without any party ever meeting in person.
This fake license that was essentially used to pose as you. When you look at that, like, do you think it is convincing?
No, I don't have black eyes.
This is the fake signature on the deed, and notice it matches the fake on the license.
Because the deed was signed, Lowe would have to go to court and prove fraud in order to get his property back.
And to this date, I don't know where the complicity is in the individuals all along the line.
The only bad actors in this are the scammers themselves. The rest are all the victims.
We've had a dozen instances in York County of attempted deed fraud. There's been some successful ones where it's gone through all the way, and I know it's occurred in other counties throughout the state as well.
State Senator Henry Ingwerson has introduced a bill at the State House that would add more safeguards to the selling process, requiring identity verification before a deed transfer happens at a town clerk's office. If an attempted sale is fraudulent, Ingwerson wants it to be easily nulled, and the bill would add harsher penalties for imposters.
What this bill is asking is that we separate out deed fraud and make it a felony, because these people are suffering an incredible loss financially, and then just the process of getting their land back is onerous.
We're told the developer agreed to pay the real Richard Lowe $40,000 to settle the matter, though Lowe believes the stress of the past year already did its damage.
I had a stroke about 3 months ago, and I think this had something to do with it. even once you go through it, your level of trust in your fellow human being goes down.